I'll tell you why I did it.
Yeah.
I wanted, I mean, at the end of the day, I really just I had always wanted to break things out and to be a little bit more of a console-oriented studio.
Okay.
I think, to be honest, I was really enjoying sort of the hybrid setup, but there were a couple limitations that were kind of like eating away at me. But I just, I kind of wanted to go there. I don't know. I really kind of wanted to take that next step.
I mean, in a way, you had the SSL summing system.
Yes.
So you're sort of there, almost.
Yeah, I was getting there.
Yeah. And so when you had an option to get a console in your studio, was this the only option, or were there other things you looked at?
No, there was several other options.
Okay, like what?
The new Rupert Neve.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah.
That was considered, and the Neve Genesis.
Okay, is that like in production?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So and the Neve Genesis is roughly the same size as this, and so is the Rupert Neve.
Okay.
Design one.
Yeah.
The Rupert Neve design one, I wasn't as stoked on. The API had just I'd read so much about it. I had talked to people that had owned it, and everybody was just like thrilled.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that was sort of it, was just the idea of working on a console and working in a bit of like the older way. And I just kind of grew out of the hybrid mentality that way. I really wanted a larger format console. And also I wanted other people to be able to work in here and not have to wrap their heads around
Here's setup.
my setup.
That's smart.
And
cool.
And it was a little bit commercially driven that way.
Right.
Where I also I don't plan on being in this room forever. I was planning to build.
Yeah.
And I wanted a centerpiece that would be more inclusive to people.
Okay.
As opposed to it being a little bit more of like the mad scientist, cave. Setup, which is dope.
Yeah.
But I wanted something that was a little bit more, like I said, inclusive.
I don't know if it was you that posted this on Instagram or if it was Bob at Grand Avenue. Somebody talked about the benefits of a console being that kind of community vibe. Maybe it was you that posted that.
I posted that.
Yeah, and so explain that about how, before we were here, it was Mike's spaceship.
That's right.
But then now you have all the guys around here touch the knobs and seeing the music.
And getting into it.
Yeah.
And that's just the truth. When you're sitting around a desk and you're working in sort of a more focused, smaller, tighter sort of situation like that, it really is, you're separating yourself from the artist that you're working with. That's just a fact. As I'm tinkering away in my little thing and nobody can actually get into the sweet spot and nobody but me really knows this mouse and all that kind of stuff. Nobody else can kind of get into the music or make adjustments or
that's a really great point.
Be included in the process. And so that was rolling around my mind when I made this choice. The reason I went with the 1608 though over the Genesis and the other, the big thing with the Genesis was it's kind of it's like a computer hybrid.
Oh, okay.
And that just kind of scared me.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Whereas this is just like an analog console, and the computer aspects of this I can continue to update without this being married to it.
Yeah, totally. And it's very module too, right?
Well, the other thing too was recall, is that I did want to be working analog, but I wanted to have recall, and all the EQs are stepped.
Okay.
Whereas
so you just make
every other console had variable EQs.
Right.
And I was like, well, I'll never be able to recall.
Yeah, that's cool.
So
and these all came with it?
Yeah, so this is what they call the loaded 1608.
I see that. So I know that they also make the box, right? What's the difference between the box and the 1608?
It's smaller.
Is it? Okay. It's not 16 channel.
No, I think it's more of a summing box. It's a smart design.
Yeah.
It would definitely be more in the sort of production room thing. So I think you get 4 channels to record with.
Okay.
That have EQ and preamp on them.
Okay.
And then I think you get another 8 channels to sort of sum on.
Okay.
And then I'm pretty sure that at the end of that you get a 2500 kind of built into it.
Right.
Their compressor, right? So
Oh, okay. It's like a giant channel strip or something.
I mean, I guess I was just sort of like trying to remember how everything went down. But yeah, sort of the big idea was just that I wanted other people to be working here, and I also wanted other people to be sort of more included in the process.
Right.
And then that kind of just. Rolled into, well, in order for me to do that, it's a larger format console, and then like, what should I get?
Right.
And what's actually going to be kind of special? And then, the other thing too with the API, why I went there was there's a lot of SSLs around. There's a lot of Neeves around.
Yep. That's a good point.
But there really aren't that many APIs.
Yeah. No, that's a really good point.